Hey everybody, I'm Kevin Potter and we build hydraulic presses. These right here. And we've been building them for over a decade, and right now I know times are tough and steel's expensive, and our presses have become increasingly expensive. And I know a lot of people have resorted to buying the Harbor Freight ones. And well, it's a press, sort of, but these are $189. So I can't even, my jack costs more than $189. Our paint job costs near that. So anyway, if you can afford to buy ours, we'd really appreciate it. And I know, and we do layaway and everything else, and Ian here would appreciate it because he's the guy who builds them all. This is actually the guy that actually builds all the presses. So, and they have a lifetime warranty. But if you can't afford one of ours, and you still want to make jewelry using a press, here you go. So what we did to make it usable for our products is I just took one of our platens and I modified it and bolted it to the bottom of this thing. There's actually like a round bar sticking out the bottom of this, which prevents you from doing a lot of stuff. So we put this on here, and there's some things that if you're gonna, you don't have to buy this from me. I'm not trying to sell you nothing. You can make it yourself, however you want to do it. That bar is pushing into the bottom of this jack. So when you put these on here, you got to make sure that the bar is pushing into the face of this platen, and that the platen, so we've shimmed the platen so it can't rock and everything else. And another thing, we use aluminum spacers. It's not because I'm cheap. Actually, steel costs less, but steel on steel is like a bearing. So this is what they send with it. It's like glass. When something's under pressure, you want these spacers to bite into the steel so they don't slip. That's why on all of our presses we use aluminum spacers. They bite into the steel. And yeah, they do get damaged. They get dents in them and scratched, but they're sacrificial. It doesn't matter. It's better than having something launch across the room. So don't use these.
Yeah.
They're dangerous. So you can get these kind of spacers. These are just cut off pieces of aluminum bar stock. You can buy them at a scrapyard. You can buy them at a metal supply place, or you can get them from us. We sell them. And so here I'm going to show how this works. I want you guys to be aware, do not overstress this thing. It is what it is. I'm amazed that they can produce anything for $189, truly. It's amazing, but it's not good.
What's behind the box?
Here's your handle. So, works just like any other bottle jack. Tighten that up. You want to use as many spacers as you can to avoid overextending your jack. This is the first time I've ever used one of these.
I don't like it.
There it goes. So, if you're going to do
Sounds cool.
a lot of this kind of stuff, pancake dies and whatnot, it's handy to have a press. And for the money, there's no way I can produce anything even close to that price. So that part works really good. Now, this is where people would struggle. This is designed to work in my press. Right like that. You center it up, and it's ready to go. But
you can take off that
off. This will work in this press now. You're going to put it in the middle, put your former on there, and put your urethane below it, and you will be ready to go. can you go grab an impression die, Ian?
Yeah.
And some small pieces of urethane. So you can see how this will work. Now you're going to want to pay really close attention to what you're doing. It's so important on this machine to keep things centered because this thing is pretty wobbly. Okay, but this is a very low tonnage thing. This doesn't require a lot of pressure at all, so you're not going to be in any grave danger. Okay, this isn't, this is easy. And now this press will work with our bracelet former. Bring it up. The next thing we're going to attach full steel pusher. This is a little sketchy in my mind, being that it's sticking down so far, but you're going to want to use as many spacers as possible to prevent overextending anything. See if this will go. There you go. Give us a little bit. Okay. So, impression dies require a little bit more force. So what we have here is little rows, and I know something just kind of really popular. So you're going to put that. Now, notice this thing. It's very wiggly. Everything is wiggly. So I want you to be very aware of what you're doing. If anything feels weird or like it's bending, you stop what you're doing. Do not keep pressing. So use a little piece of urethane. Set it in there. Make sure this is tight. Okay, it's probably good.
So the ball jack they send you doesn't come with a gauge.
Right, there's no gauge with these. And it worked. If I'd annealed it a little better, we'd have gotten a better impression. But it's totally doable with this machine. It'll do everything you need. You just got to be very careful and aware of what you're doing. And if you want this attachment, maybe I'll make a few. Or you can rig something up yourself. But it is possible to use it and do work. But if you can afford it, we really appreciate the support with ours. Plus, we lifetime warranty it. The bottle jacks are made in Japan, so they're real high quality. You get a gauge. But we also do layaway. So I hope that helps everybody. And be really careful with these. Okay? Yeah. Do not overstress it. These bolts are what are restraining everything. It's kind of silly to have this big bar up here when when it's literally being sheared by the other bar. It's a pretty bad design, but it'll do what needs to happen for low tonnage stuff like these pancake dies, impression dies, and forming. Okay? Thanks for watching.